Welcome to the second episode of the A to Z Legal Services podcast. Useful, concise, and purposeful information.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that I think causes a lot of stress, this assumption about ending a marriage.
Oh, absolutely.
The idea that you're basically trapped if your spouse just refuses to sign the papers.
That's the one. That belief that you need permission is what causes so much fear.
Right.
So our mission today is to really explain in plain language how the whole process changes based on agreement, especially in a huge system like Los Angeles County.
Okay, so let's just start with the one fact that honestly changes the entire game. I was looking through the notes and this just blew me away. California is a no-fault state.
Mm-hmm.
The legal reason is just irreconcilable differences. And that means, and this is the key, you do not need your spouse's consent to end the marriage.
No signature, no permission. But what's fascinating is that while you don't need their permission, their refusal to participate is probably the most expensive mistake they can make.
How so?
Because that consent, or lack of it, dictates everything. The cost, the time, and really critically, how much control you get to keep over the final decisions.
Okay, but before any papers even get filed, we have to talk about timing.
Right.
There's some boxes you have to check.
The residency requirement.
Yeah, 6 months in California, and then 3 months in the specific county, say Los Angeles. And if you're not quite there, legal separation is an option to get the ball rolling.
Exactly. And once you check those boxes, another clock starts ticking, a really important one. It's the mandatory 6-month waiting period.
Wait, okay, hold on. So even if a couple agrees on everything today, they sign all the papers tomorrow, they still have to wait 6 months.
They do.
That seems like overkill. Why?
It's a mandatory cooling off period. It's designed to make sure the decision is final. The divorce just can't be legally, terminated until those 6 months have passed since the other person was served.
So let's look at the different paths this can take. First, divorce with consent. This is the uncontested route, what everyone hopes for.
Right. Both sides agree on all the big stuff. Property, debt, support, custody. It's always faster, cheaper, and just emotionally easier. And, for some people, there's even a kind of legal express lane. It's called summary dissolution.
But that has a lot of rules, right?
A very strict checklist. The marriage has to be under 5 years, no kids, no real estate, and pretty low assets and debts. The paperwork is simpler, but that 6-month wait, it still applies.
Okay, now for the other side of it. Divorce without consent. I see 2 scenarios here. The first is a default.
Yes. This is where your spouse gets served the papers and just does nothing. They don't file a response in 30 days.
And what happens then?
They've essentially handed you all the power. They lose their right to argue about how things are divided, and the judge usually just signs off on what you asked for.
Wow. Okay, and the second, more complicated scenario.
The contested divorce. This is where they do respond, but they fight you on the key issues.
Like valuing assets or who gets the kids when.
Exactly. And this raises that all-important question, who decides?
And this is where that idea of control becomes so important. In the consensual path, you and your spouse write the agreement. In the contested one,
you're handing that power over to a stranger in a black robe, the judge.
Right.
And what starts as a simple 6-month wait can explode into a year, 2 years, sometimes more. It becomes a cycle of financial disclosures, mediation, hearings, maybe even a full trial.
And that's why participation is so important. Ignoring the process is the only way to guarantee the judge makes decisions without ever hearing your side.
Which is why those local resources are so vital. In a place like Los Angeles County, the Superior Court has amazing self-help centers. They can guide you on the forms, help with mediation. They try to get people back toward an agreement.
So to wrap this up for everyone listening, there are maybe 3 clear ideas here. First, permission is not needed to get a divorce in California.
Absolutely not. Second, consent is really about agreement versus fighting. It determines the time and the cost.
And third, every case is different. Getting specific advice is essential.
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Understanding the difference between consent and non-consent is the first real step you can take toward making safer, smarter decisions for your future, no matter what stage you're in.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget that at the end of this episode, we'll share our contact information so you can get additional paralegal guidance. You can call us at 626-510-3339. Email us at info@azlegal.us. Visit us at www.azlegal.us. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram under our verified profiles as A to Z Legal Services.